Oh, whoa. Matt,
Yeah.
tell me if you can find this one. Got it?
No.
I don't is the first words. Still no. Still no.
No.
I don't want to work. Come on. Come on. Little Todd Rundgren
Love
to
Todd
bring
Rundgren.
us in,
Love the runner. Rundgren.
right?
Yeah.
Oh man. I love when I have this I go to this this app that I'm a member of. It's called Chordly. It is, if you're a guitar player, Chordly, Chordly, Chordly. You just play right along, and they pull the strings and they show you the fingering, and it could be, you know, if somebody else did that song, they have that too. Like if it's anywhere in the digital sphere, they pull songs, so you can learn how to play other people's versions of songs, because people like to tweak it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're playing I Don't Want to Work because everybody is sitting on their hands presently, waiting on the jobs number tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we shall sit and wait too. Matt, you were saying on the way in that if great traders understand the type of market that they're in, and you have to adjust accordingly. So you weren't looking for big runners today.
No, just because we've run so hard up to a level that is proven to be difficult to go by, which is 3,800 basically. We got up to 3,820 overnight, and then we pulled back to 37. What did we get down to? 55 or so. So now we're kind of in that 37. We got down to 30 yesterday, so we're in a 90. We're in a 100-point range, which sets up for either another test of 3650.
Right.
Or if we close over 3,800 today, which it's not out of the realm, even though we're 20 points under. If we close over 2,800, we could run, to 3,950, I think. So, which just sets up kind of to where I've been saying, 3,950.
Where a bigger argument is going to take.
Bigger argument is at 3,950, 4,000. And, and again, that would be basically a 10% move too, 10, 11% move from 35.70. And that's about what this market, the bear market loves, a good 10 to 15% rally typically.
Right on.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's a big number. I kind of like the conversation we were having before. Who do you believe? What do you believe anymore? I don't believe the CPI. Nobody does. So really, do these numbers even mean anything to the market? Like I kind of feel that I feel that way about the VIX anymore. And we were talking about it. There's a lot of products that really aren't reflective of much anymore. And
it makes it difficult to navigate.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so, if you're day trading, truly, again, if you're a day trader around those numbers, you got to wait. I mean, you got to wait for the number, because I have there's no edge. There's no, unless the price is offering you an edge, you really have to wait for, price to move. And today is the perfect example. I mean, we're basically trading, within a circle of where we opened. Where did we open in the S&P? We opened at 3780, and we're at 37. We were just at 78. Now it's 75. So
right on.
So again, today is just and nothing really, there's really not much moving in the stock world. There might be a couple names moving, but when you look at, I'm going to bring it, let me just bring this in real quick, just so you can see. And this is a good, you don't see a lot of days like this late. that looks kind of red to me, but then there's a lot of green in there. But you know, again, the market's down, so I guess it should be a little red, but nothing's really bright, right?
Right. It is not hemorrhaging.
I mean, IBM's down 2.7%, which is a lot, I guess, for IBM, but that's, you know, in the S&P 500, we got some real estate names are getting pounded here. That makes sense. And so these are specialty retailers. It looks like, you know, retail. So that makes sense. It should be down. Like things have to, somebody obviously must have had some soft numbers, right? And then utilities are down big today. So electric, so go figure. And there's something going on there, but again, not things that I am currently involved in. So it's pretty quiet in the S&P, and the S&P is again down 21 for the day and only down 7 from the open. If we get, you know, in this last couple hours, if we were to break, say below that the opening low, which was the IB low, which was around that 55. I mean, if we broke below 55, we might run down to 3,700. Maybe.
Yeah, if it can get thin, believe me, it can get thin. As
Yeah.
people wait.
Yeah. So that would be really the only trade I see in the S&P if we were to break that level today. Now, in the last few hours, I would have like a sell stop, and I do. If we were to crack under that 55 level, so
we shall see.
Oil, you know, Exxon's up big today, 101.96.
Well, let's just face it. There's no way they're not going to print money going forward. I mean, we said this a year ago, by the way, at least. I mean, when the world is consuming 100 million barrels a day, please, can we have a logical, maybe 25-year game plan?
Yeah.
It seems like they want to shove a 5-year game plan down everybody's throat, and I'm not sure everybody's going to take that. Now, let me share, because I want to continue on this thread of how difficult it is to navigate this world of information, because the world just keeps delivering. Can I share? Will you let me share?
I'm trying to get there, Bob.
Please share. I was always pretty good at sharing.
Well, it's because
I just want to bang on the drums all day, man.
You were the 8th of 12 kids, so yeah, you had to be good.
Matt, this zero head sharing. Ukraine Central Bank hit with embezzlement charges after resigning. He gave his resignation yesterday. Amazing. And again, so why would you trust the narrative? Like everything's fine. All the money going to Ukraine is fine. It's getting to where it's supposed to be. We keep riffing on that. Like who's kidding who here? And then you're like,
well, bring up the tweet I sent you. It's in the private room.
Oh yeah. Well, the tweet or the
tweet from Zelensky.
Oh, there, this one.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 625 million security assisted package. He had a meaningful phone call. I mean, the hips keep coming. I mean, and then this, you know, this article here, Eugene Yu's connection to China's National People's Congress and Chinese telecom giants. Oh yeah, everything is above board. But let me get back to this one, because we've talked about the vaccine a lot, Matt, and Alex Berenson banned from Twitter, right? Because he was sharing questions, and he's had a couple of good threads this week. But what I wanted to get
he's back on Twitter now, by the way.
He's back on Twitter. What I wanted
and Alex, if you're watching, get me back, because I got canceled for, retweeting
his information.
Your information. So this is the effed
this
up
trade
world.
canceled for sharing Alex Berenson's information.
Mm-hmm.
It's this right here. And this is, it looks like American Council on Science and Health. All right, and there's a lot of things in here that you can think one way or another about it, but we're going to talk about Bayer, and they've really been pushing back on some narratives, Matt. One of them is that cows are killing the planet, that the methane thing is completely overblown. Another thing that they're pushing back on in this narrative, that obesity is okay and everybody being fat is fine and healthy and nobody needs to worry about being obese. And they're supposed to be science only based or fact only based, and this is where I have the problem, because they shared this article that vaccine people that are pushing hard against the vaccine, it's all bullshit, that the vaccines are safe and effective. So it just makes it so difficult, right, to navigate this world. So what do you think about this? Are they just a shill, or is it just who's ever giving them the most money? They're going to, because people have said all along that you can find a narrative that supports your view. Just, look for it. Somebody's out there willing to peddle it. We say all of this because it gets back to Bayer and the glyphosate. And I know you're going to bring the chart up. So bring that up, because it seems to me the article from the Wall Street Journal that they were saying here is Bayer hits courtroom winning streak as it battles remaining Roundup lawsuits. Roundup
that's why they don't trade in the U.S., right? Because they did have that whole Roundup.
Right. They bought Monsanto, which was a U.S. company. They rolled it into Bayer.
Right.
They put away like $16 billion to settle lawsuits. They've settled hundreds of thousands of lawsuits, by the way. And so the theory, the article was suggesting that they put away enough money, a la ExxonMobil and the Valdez situation, where they put away a bunch of money, fought everything in court for 20 years, and then had plenty of money to pay off all the settlements because of the annualized return that money earned as it was put away. Somewhat dark side of corporate, the corporate game planning, but for sure that's what they've done.
That is, I mean, it's the same thing the Purdue family did with the opioid cases, right? They paid off whatever 13 billion. Somehow they still have all the family, the Sackler family still has their 20 billion. So, and then, the company kind of goes away, and then they reorganize, like you said, and get taken out and get relabeled and go back to doing the same shit. I mean, so there was a recent Rogan with a guy that was like me. He was in the medical device business, but before that he was in the pharma business. So he told Joe all about like 510Ks and how devices have the same problem that big pharma does. And at the bottom of all of it is there are 5 insurance companies basically running the whole scheme, and it is a scheme, and it's all part of the military industrial complex, and it really is a problem. I mean, again, the pills that are pushed on us now, watching television. I mean, like I said to you the other day, we were watching Monday night. I'm like, what happened to Spuds McKenzie? Like, sell me some beer.
No, there's plenty of colors.
Now it's all insurance, and it's all insurance companies and pharma. And
so Matt, Bayer, by the way, we could not find price discovery traded in the US.
Right.
And the thing that kills me about this company, it's traded on like dozens of exchanges, like they're spread far wide.
Thin, illiquid exchanges. And it's according to this,
from making aspirin to glyphosate, they got you all covered.
It's a bullish chart still. I mean, it's been bullish since COVID started. Look at that. Somebody knew. I mean, that thing took off, doubled in less than like 6 months.
And from a big ticket item too. I mean, I think this is in euro. Where is this being traded?
I don't know. I thought you said Hungary or something. Hungarian.
No, India, Brazil, not the USA.
Yeah.
Not the US of A. Bayer. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought it was
219 billion market cap. BSE. It's Brazilian maybe, or the Budapest Stock Exchange. I don't know. One of those two.
It just encapsulates how hard it is to. And again, that's why we always just go back to the chart.
But look at how that bounced right on the just a couple days ago, bounced right on the point of control. Look at that, ding, and then right back up here. Anyways, large company, large things, a lot of money going through that, lot of laundry. Maybe Zelensky's running some of his 625 newfound millions through Bayer.
I don't know. What else do you got? We gotta fill some time here.
Let's, I wanted to talk about Exxon since we were talking about oil and we haven't looked at it in a while. So let's just look at it. All the people complaining that there's no bull markets. Well, you're wrong. I mean, Exxon, we talked about this. I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum when Zoom was, right? The whole like
when Zoom was 14
buy,
or
sell Zoom.
13x.
Yeah, I think I might even still have it in here. I might have the Zoom Exxon pair. Like we were talking about it, right? Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Let's see what happened to that, because we were saying sell the Zoom Exxon strikes back in whenever we were talking about. Look at that, and I was going to say I recall it being about $20. You talk about a safe trade right there, man. That was a good one. Sell Zoom, buy Exxon. That has paid off handily.
That's a beautiful thing right there. And again, relative values and relative logic. And then not only that, and then waiting for the chart to confirm.
Yeah. And Exxon, by the way, pays a nice dividend. Again, they pay you 4% to hold it. So that's the kind of stock, it's better than nothing. It's better than Zoom, who doesn't make any money, is never going to pay you a dividend, and is only snooping on you because Xi needs to know everything about you.
By the way, we're pushing on Zoom right now.
Yeah, we are.
And we both pay Zoom.
We do.
We pay them so we can blast them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, it's our right.
All right, Exxon. Here's my little question for you, though. Bring Exxon back up.
All right.
And what? Give me, how everybody likes to say targets. What's your target? So, how do you go about any time frame that you want to? Targeting profits if you're long.
Yeah, this is that's a tough question. It's bullish, but I think you just got to buy the dips right now. As long as oil, again, just follow oil. I mean, oil's going to tell you whether to be longer or not. But this is an all-time high. So as far as where could we go, Bob? I don't know. I mean, we could go. If oil, the difficult thing is, like you and I were talking about, if oil really does go to 150 to 200 a barrel, I don't think
this thing doubles.
At some point, right, there's a marginal utility where people are going to say, you know what, I'm just not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to go to work. I'm not going to do anything. If it's $15 a gallon, I mean, that means if you are driving an hour commute, which is 120 miles, let's just say, and a lot of people do, right? A lot of people have that type of commute every day. 120 miles, most cars get 20 to the gallon, let's just say. That's not even big.
6 gallons.
That's $100 to go to work, round trip. Think about that. I mean, that's $100, Bob. 200 days if you're going. I mean,
it's impossible. It can't.
Right. That's 20 grand a year just in gasoline. You haven't put tires, brakes, or oil changes into the mix, or insurance.
All right. So one way that we talk about routinely is redistributing the same width of that value range.
Yeah, and again, this is the Bob Heffernan model of weekly charts. We don't really trade weekly charts, but yeah, it's bullish. But for me, it's got to stay above kind of $80 on a weekly chart. So if it starts getting below that red line here, which is 81, it's probably not as good of a long below there, is what I would say. So buy pullbacks back to 80, and again, then the level's 60, then the level's 40. Right now it's just bullish. This is a weekly chart, so I would need to see really a break of a weekly chart before I would think of anything but where I want to buy. And right now we're really in this bracket of that 80 to 105. So I would say if oil prices go back and test 120, this might go to 130.
Bingo. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But
I was thinking the same thing.
After that, there again, the Econ 101 marginal utility starts creeping into the consumer, and maybe companies say, hey, go back and work from home because we know you can't afford to come to work.
Yeah, we're not giving you a gas stipend.
Yeah, well, gosh, you saw, I think this week, California is handing out $750 to $1,000 per taxpayer for the gas subsidy. I'm like, really? I mean, people just think like this is free money. They just send $1,000 to every person with a car that registered in the state. That's insane. It's like, I don't get it, Bob. I don't get it.
Well, the good news is we're going to start pumping from Venezuela again, because Texas and Alaska are their oil's no good. So kudos to the POTUS. All right, man. That's it.
Hey, let's talk. Let's talk. I want to get your take on all these cryptos. They've really done nothing. They're not going up for a while. This XRP looks like it's kind of waking up on a weekly chart.
Well, again, that is the legacy offering, and if you think differently, from my understanding, you're wrong. That is the legacy banks offering XRP. So, I got to tell you something. When I look at that chart,
yep.
If it can get into that value area, and again, that's the beautiful thing about standard deviation modeling and profile modeling. It doesn't matter if that's potato chips or XRP or beans or IBM stock. If it gets into that value range and spends some time and volume, it's going to fill it, or 80% of it. That's just how markets work. And so what is that low end of value?
Hang on. I got rid of it because I was going to ask you, I was going to be funny and ask you any thoughts on Shiba?
Yeah, I'll tell you what the thought was. We were right. We were right when it was up there and people called me and I said, please sell every single thing that you have.
Remember how crazy?
Yes, I do. I mean, please sell it all of it right now.
All of it. And then
I love the people that
get all techie and tell me all about it. I'm like, oh, dude, just stop.
They put $1,000 into it and turned it into $6,000. I'm like, you know how hard it is to make $6,000?
Right. And now you're just going, what do I do? Take it.
It's not going to be 60. All right. It's not going to be 6 million.
Yeah. So here's the XRT again. What did you want to know? 60 cents is probably that lower level. So
60 cents is the bottom of that profile.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. And again, it can't just, we talk about throwovers, and again, obviously, that's the nuance of trading. It trades above 60 cents. It's got to spend some time, build some volume there. And then let's say it goes to 70. On a retrace back to 60 cents, it's got to hold. It can't just go above 60 cents for a blip, whatever time frame you're looking at, and then come right back below. 60 has to become a floor once you've bucked through it, right? And so retests of it really should respect it. If it can't respect it, and that's obviously the art in trading, that.
Let's talk a little bit about the art of trading, just looking at the VIX. And like I said, it's interesting that this thing's just been capped, right? It must have the Biden price controls on it. I don't know.
I don't know who's demolished more souls, VIX traders or gold and silver traders.
Right. What's interesting is in the last year, we've basically been in the 15 to 40 range. We've spiked up there, but really 15 to 36, $20 range. And we haven't had any fear. Like, look at the COVID fear. I mean, that thing was, February 24th. Ratcheted all the way up to, that was a full month of like, whoa! And again, so we haven't had any of that type of selling, hence there's no volatility like that. And we're at the, kind of the middle range, 30. It's closer to the top, but you know what I'm saying? It's not really doing much.
No, it for sure hasn't broken out. And
like
again,
if this is your trading
profile,
if this is your trading indicator, turn it off. It's not going to tell you much, I guess is what I'm saying. And that's why I bring it up. And that is basically based on, the VIX is puts over calls, technically, just so people know, puts over calls in the S&P 100. That's what the VIX is. Okay. And here's your S&P 100. We haven't looked at this. I don't know if we've ever.
I don't think we ever have.
Used to trade it a lot in the 90s. Used to be one of the best trading vehicles. And again, this is the top 100 stocks basically in the world if it's part of the S&P, right? So this, peaked. Probably that was January. Yeah, January of the top of the year, and at 2,200, the COVID low by the way, was 1,000. So, and we're still sitting here at 1,700. So again, we haven't even tested the high, the pre-COVID high of 1,500. I think that'll get seen for sure. And why wouldn't we go back to test this 1,000 and see if there's any real buyers there? And if there's not, you know, the next high was somewhere around 950. So that this area comes into play. Again, there's this is an index, so they don't profile the indices, unfortunately, because now you would have to trade options on this. But anyways, just throwing that out there. But it's a little lesson on how. So it's put spot versus call spot is what on the OEX, which provides you the VIX. So there you go for a little lesson for those that really don't understand where the VIX numbers are derived. But,
and I just thought it was Michael VIX.
Yeah, well, you know,
not him. You know, somebody asked yesterday on Twitter, name a famous cowboy off the top of your head, and somebody said Gene Autry, and I immediately said Roger Staubach.
I would have said Tony Dorsett.
Bob Hayes, number 22. That's it. You know, when we start talking Bob Hayes, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Thursday night, what do we got tonight? We got a little game.
What do we got tonight? We got TNF tonight. Slowly we turn step by step. I got to tell you, when you in Swiss cows, TNF is a lot of other things than Thursday night football.
We got the Colts and the Broncos, and 1-2-1 Colts versus the 2-2 hapless.
I like the Colts.
You like the Colts?
I do like the Colts.
At Denver, I'm going to go with Russell, given 3. You and I will have our standard bet that
bet. Mortimer.
It's piling up for you. It's piling up for you, but
yeah, it is. We have a standard 10x payout too. By the way, you lose 10, you pay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lee, you got anything on this dwindling Thursday? Anything? Lee's asleep. I think we put them all to sleep today. By the way, if you have trouble with insomnia, please just watch Market Vitals and it'll put you to sleep for sure. Guaranteed, probably. Your video just froze. That's it. The whole thing's over.
All right.
I don't want to work. That's it. Hold on.
He's got the East Coast flu. Happens this time of year when that weather changes and it's not 80 degrees like it is in Bend, right, Lee?
I can't sing it, man. That's a hard note to sing. It's very off. It's falsetto. It's like not falsetto. It's off key. Very difficult.
By the way, don't mess with a Brazilian woman. Don't mess with a Brazilian woman.
No way. She's burning the sage over it.
She's
what
smudging.
Does that mean?
She's smudging the car. You've never smudged?
What does smudging a car mean? Never smudged. No.
Yeah, you light the sage stick and you.
Well, I mean, I do that in the bathroom every day.
Yeah, well, she's doing it to get out the demons that Tom and their cars. So.
Maybe we could do that with the Lions and the Bears.
Somebody should be smudging.
We need to smudge those locker rooms.
Somebody should be smudging Dan in the Ford Field because he for a defensive guy, he's got no defense for 2 years.
Exactly.
He will be fired. He will be fired the way that team is playing.
Oh my goodness. All right, that's it. Please join us at marketvitals.io. A very unmemorable podcast today. Thank you for joining us. Please visit Amazon and buy some Shrimp Mojo for fuss sakes. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Bob.